I often say the best videos are the ones you don't give a whole lot of thought to. My apologies that this video is not taking place in the outdoors or in a tree. Um, Pretty much a last minute video. Taught karate tonight. On the way home, the barber who does everything for me told me that we've been getting some comments on the YouTube channel, which was like, really? Like, wow, not really my area. I mean, I do the videos and send them to her, and she does what she does. And so she relayed to me this comment that I'm assuming it's a gentleman has made, and thank you. Thank you so much. Probably about a year ago, at least a year ago, is when we first started really doing the YouTube videos on Roadmap. And I was like, none of my retirement plans have really worked out. I was going to train and teach trauma and do all this. It didn't work out. And now I'm just a hog trapper, and we have our nonprofit. We're trying to get things going with that. And I was like, I'm just going to let it rip. So I was down in Florida working, and I got on top of a tractor and I just let it rip. And the only oversight that I have is basically up above. So took a stab at these videos, trying to reach people. So this video has a purpose. I don't think it's going to help anybody process, but it's more of a thank you. And it's more of an acceptance of what is your 5%. Our most recent video was about your 5%. And this gentleman's made some comments, and so I'm going to dive into that. And it's my thank you for feedback, because we have no clue what we're doing. We have no clue if we're reaching people. We have no clue of anything. And it's hard every day to continue to push them out and continue to push them out. And as I always say in life, occasionally, God throws you a bone. Even when you're in the deepest, darkest holes, sometimes there's a bone being thrown and you just can't see it. Kind of the goal of the videos is to throw a bone out there. So I guess we threw a bone and we hit some guy in the forehead, and he said, hey, I'm going to write a comment. So, can a dog, a canine, maybe a cat, I'm gonna stick with the dog, can that be part of your 5%? Absolutely. Briefly, a long time ago, when I was a young man, kids can be mean. I don't think it's always personal, just that their brains are developing, they're trying to figure it all out. Something different comes along that's not always been with them. They're like, hey, let's just make fun of that. I see our chickens do that when we bring new chickens in. Dogs do it, everything does it. But in my younger years, there were some kids that weren't that nice. Some of them turned out to be very good friends of mine later on after we figured it all out. But because they weren't nice, what it did for me was it sent me searching for acceptance. Pretty simple. And the acceptance was in the form of childhood dog that my parents, got me. And so it sounds like a sad story, but it's truly not. I mean, I look back and I'm glad it all worked out the way it did, because I made a connection with an animal, and every animal after that, I've made a connection. And even I'm one of those guys, when you're out in the public, and you come, fondle your dog. That's me. I'm gonna fondle your dog because I love the babies. And I'd come home from school, and we had it sounds like Laura Ingalls. If you don't know who that is, Google. And you'd walk a quarter mile down our little road, and hopefully one day, if things work out, that's where we're going to do a lot of work for first responders and military guys at where I grew up. And I'd walk home, and my dog would greet me, and true story, man, I'd sit down there on the ground and I'd just cry. She'd lick my tears off my face. Good. Accepted for who I was, even though I wasn't being accepted at school. And she lived a good, long life. Painful. She died in 1994. And so I have this. It's like a show and tell, maybe a cry and tell. So I made this a long time ago. She lived from 1979 to 1994. And that's actually her dog collar, an old leather dog collar. And keep it in one of the building next door. And that was hers. Shortly after 1994, I had to get another one, right? She was what they call a Blue Mountain Shepherd. We went for a German Shepherd and got her. Phenomenally beautiful female dog. Had to fill that void, man, you know? And so we upped our game, and so the baby, my dog now, here's these collars, and here she comes. It's okay, baby. You're okay. You're okay. So, this was her collar. Awesome dog. She's buried in our backyard. Clearly part of my 5%, without a doubt. Got her 5 years into my career, and can't tell you how many times that her and I sat on the floor. And she accepted me for who I was. 3 o'clock in the morning when you come in and you crack that door and that nose comes out and they just accept you for who you are, even though you're dragging 400 tons of crap behind you. Yeah. That's your 5%. She's buried in our backyard. Phenomenal dog. So, on with show and tell. Then came the next one. Male, German Shepherd. Absolutely towards the tail end of my career. Really did a lot of good for me. His demeanor was a little keyed down, so that was good for me. I'm kind of high strung, and he kind of wind me back down. We keep their collars. These are called fur savers. They're not chokes. They're called fur savers, and a lot of police dogs use them. Now, the baby, she's got her own fur saver, and she's part of my 5%. And I think she helped me get used to retirement. And probably to some standards, she is a therapy dog for me. But probably for our whole family, she's a therapy dog. I don't know, they're just awesome. So for the gentleman that has been commenting on YouTube, thank you, sir. I don't know you from Adam. Thank you for taking the time to comment. I needed that. Seriously needed to light the afterburners. The bone hit me in the forehead. I know you have a dog, and that is definitely your 5%. In one of the books, I don't remember which one, I wrote about death of a pet because people don't get it. They don't have the love, right? And Dr. Mitchell came in and he wrote about how the loss of that pet is no different than the loss of a human being. But people that don't love a dog like we do, they don't get it. But I wanted to put it in a book so people understood the pain that comes with that. So that's the video. I mean, seriously. I apologize, it's not out in the woods, it's up in a tree, but literally it's prompt to let it rip. I did take off my karate shirt and put on a roadmap shirt to support my buddy Eddie and our nonprofit. But, you know, I appreciate the comment. I cannot thank you enough. So, that's what we got. Can a dog, and it could be a poo-poo dog, it could be a lap dog, whatever all those dogs are. They don't have to be like, you know, the baby. I mean, the baby's high speed, but it don't matter. Dog's a dog. Doesn't matter if it's got a pedigree or no pedigree. Can that be part of your 5%? Absolutely part of your 5%. And I think the dog has been a part of my 5% since I was a kid. And as far as some of the kids growing up that weren't that nice back then, thank you. You did me a favor. Because you sent me the direction I needed to go. 2 things I figured out in my youth. A dog can fix a lot of junk in our head. And for me personally, it's the woods. The woods work for me. I've written about it, I've talked about it. When I walk in the woods, I'm not walking in the woods. I'm walking into where my comfort zone is at. And so I'm gonna wrap it up with spread the love, not the hate. And who am I today? Well, I'm a guy that's glad that I was fortunate enough in the time that I've had here on earth to have 3 absolutely wonderful dogs that were part of my 5%. And especially today, I'm thankful for this guy that sent in a comment and continues to comment. It's not really my area of expertise to respond, to do things like that. The barber does that, but thank you, sir. And with that being said, I'm going to hit the big red button. Y'all have a great night.